Hi, I'm Marcus Willoughby, National Educator for CAO Cosmetics. I'm here today to teach you a few tips and techniques and introduce you to some CAO products. In segment 1, we'll be covering corrective makeup from concealer and foundation to just evening out your skin tone. This is Becca. We're going to be performing a high fashion look on Becca for the new spring collection. Becca here has beautiful eyes, which we're going to be playing up a lot more in segment 2. In segment 1, we're going to start out by evening out her skin tone. So to begin with, I'm going to use our red neutralizer to eliminate any red tones in the skin. I'll be mixing today our red neutralizer with a matching foundation color from the basic CAO foundation palette found right here. You want to make sure the colors are very evenly blended so that you get a nice even coverage of color. To apply the red neutralizer, I'll be using our 106 concealer brush. Our 106 brush has flat synthetic bristles, which is going to give you the best, most even application for liquid or cream. I'll be applying this using a stippling motion, which is going to help me to build much fuller coverage much quicker. You want to start right where she needs the coverage. Most people generally tend to have redness right around the nose. You want to make sure you pay extra close attention right there. Any redness right around the nose is really going to pull the face down, give more of a tired look. As you apply the red neutralizer, you want to make sure you're pressing it into the skin. It's going to give you more coverage, but also it's going to give a smoother finish. To maintain a fuller coverage, I'm going to use a sponge to work the red neutralizer into your skin. You want to use a rolling motion to press the foundation or concealer in. That way you'll remove less of the product, and again it's going to give that nice, smooth, even finish. Using the same brush, I'm going to brighten under Becca's eyes using concealer from the basic CAO Concealer Kit. It has a really nice, creamy emollient texture, which is great for under the eye, helps to really blend it nice and smooth, holds a lot of hydration, and it has anti-aging benefits as well. You want to make sure you get enough concealer to give good coverage, but not so much that it's going to be cakey and heavy. Kind of think of it like an eraser, just put it right where it's darker. To really work that concealer in, again I'm going to be using a rolling motion with the sponge. Rolling the sponge is going to help to get the concealer under its skin tighter and smoother, and again not remove too much of the product. Today for Becca I'll be using the second shade in the basic foundation palette. To apply the foundation I'll be using our 103 foundation brush. When you go to dip into your foundation, you really want to make sure you work it into the bristles of the brush so it's not sitting on the tips. That'll give you a much more even application. Again, to apply the foundation, I'm going to be using a stippling motion with the brush. What that means is really patting and pressing it into her skin. Again, that's going to help to build a fuller coverage, make it look nice and smooth. As you blend it under concealer, you want to make sure they blend together, but you don't necessarily have to cover it with the foundation. And again, you want to focus the coverage where she needs it. Not everyone's going to need foundation onto the neck or chin. Now that we have a nice even canvas, we'll be applying highlights and contours to Becca in order to emphasize her bone structure and bring out all of her best features. I'm going to start out by mixing a little bit of our yellow highlighter with Becca's concealer color. So we're going to start off by applying highlight colors to the high points of Becca's face. Find this by feeling her bone structure if you're not sure where to apply the highlights. Just feel the skin and see wherever the bones protrude, particularly right here under the eye. Keep in mind wherever you place your highlight colors is going to really come forward and jump out. So you want to put it wherever you want to emphasize, particularly on the brow bones and the high points of her cheek. Now remember we're doing a high fashion look, which is all about a high lifted cheekbone. And again, I'm stippling the foundation. This way we don't remove the coverage we built underneath. I like to blend out my highlights completely before I move in with the contour. That way you keep the colors nice and separate. By blending your lighter color first, it's going to give a nice soft finish, and then you can blend your darker color into it. So as we highlight the cheekbones, it's important to remember to follow their natural angle. You don't want to change the direction of the cheekbone. It's going to get more of an unnatural look. So follow the angle down. And as you work back towards the hairline, I like to use the bottom lash line as a guide as to how you're going to angle your highlight. What I mean by that is if you can imagine a line here, the lash line connecting back to your hair, just highlight right up against that. When you apply your brow highlight, I like to make sure to get it on both the underside and top of the brow. It's going to look the most natural if the highlight were just underneath the brow, just cuts off right there. It looks a lot more makeup-y. And our final highlight is going to be placed here on her cupid's bow. It's going to help to give her a nice, full, pouty lip. Maybe bring some emphasis into her lip area. To contour Becca's skin, we're going to be using this shade here from the CAO Basics Foundation palette. You want to go about 2 to 3 shades deeper than her natural foundation color. This is going to give just a little bit more depth and dimension to the skin. To apply your contour colors, you want to go directly against your highlight. It's going to give it a lot more depth and dimension. I'm going to start out right here at her hairline, underneath her cheekbone. In this area, you can almost think of it like a small triangle. Just kind of hollows it out, gives it more depth. And then down here, we're going to apply a contour right underneath her jawline. She's already got a nice chiseled jaw. This is just going to help to emphasize that, really bring it out. And by placing just a little bit of shadow under her lip, it's going to really help to give a full pouty lip. To blend in your contours, you want to make sure you use a nice light feather stroke. Again, you don't want to blend the colors too much. You want to keep the definition. I like to use a crosshatch motion, which means just lightly, gently lifting the brush back and forth, kind of like an X or tic-tac-toe. It's going to keep more of the color in place, give it a nice soft blend.